Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for Monday, the 24th of June. All right, now as we come into the MyFX Trading Hub, there's a few things to go through here. Now, the US dollar move is really sort of kicking in, and you can see here the dollar index itself. Central bank sentiment down, hourly and daily trends down, and the weeklies, well, it's not far off, breaking down there as well. Now, this is a major reshuffle for positions globally. So as we come into Monday's market, now it's notoriously sort of low liquidity as the Asian session kicks off, but we haven't got any major high volatility. I thought with there's a fair chance with the US-Iran conflict to really increase. The other two geopolitical events, the Chinese and the Brexit issue, or the Chinese-US trade issue, obviously a little bit more civilized than the what's happening out there in the Middle East. So basically, what we've got is a clear situation where the whole dollar strength picture has now, formally changed. And what we're starting to see is a major reshuffle across some of the major trends. Now, if you look at the daily trends, the dollar, this you can be pretty confident this is sort of happening, as in the dollar is weakening. You got all the dollar pairs there sort of all dribbling off, and especially breaking daily trend lines. Now, this is it's either one thing, it's either shuffling of positions, or it is going to be the start of a decent dollar fall. Now, I don't think the dollar's done just yet, but we are seeing a significant clean out of positions. And that's once these daily trends do break. So on the downside, we do have the other couple of pairs. Now, the euro for all money was sort of dead about a week ago, is now sort of going up on the hourlies and dailies. Fundamentally, it is still, this is going to be the confusing part for a lot of traders. The fundamental aspect for, say, Aussie, sterling, euro and Kiwi is all still down. But the actual charts, or especially on the hourlies, they're all going up. So that's where you got to sort of step back and think, well, okay, things are a little bit out of whack. We've got to wait for this dollar move to be factored into the market and see where the markets settle down from there. Now, even on those daily charts, the sterling, Aussie and Kiwi, still they've got a bit of a way to go before they break up into, say, going up on the daily trends. The euro hasn't held back. It's already on the way. So really mixed signals there on the MyFX Trading Hub. Now, if I bring you across to the charts, I'll probably be able to explain this a little bit easier as well. So you look at the Aussie. So it's broken down or broken back up, down through that downtrend. To me, it's still trading sideways sort of on an hourly perspective. But if we do go up through 69 sort of 70, it's going to sort of tick away into an upward move. And that's pretty much exactly the same for the Kiwi. We broke up through 65.20. It's now sort of sitting up here, starting to trade sideways, but still with an upward projection. Now, dollar yen did crash down to 107 or close to 107. It's now trading sideways as Trump sort of backpedals with his initial reactions to those tankers getting bombed in the Middle East. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But still, dollar yen, still at this stage, even though it's trading sideways at the moment, does look like it has got room to move lower. Euro, just coming to the big euro, man, this is confusing, right? So euro, fundamentally, no growth, nothing going forward at all. Yet we're up here at 113 or close to 113.80. It's broken through, a bit of a decent sort of level, like a triple sort of top almost, up here around 113.30. And to me, this is just as I said, it's a dollar, people getting out of the dollar momentarily, and that's triggered all these stops and leaves euro where it is. And pretty much the same for sterling, where it's sort of, there's a bit of a triple top here at 127.50. Actually, if I just go into that, let me just show you what's going on. There's above these levels, there's not a hell of a lot. Like the euro, let me just show you the euro above 113, above this level here. The next major resistance level, you can see it just coming in up here, up around 115.24. Right, it's miles away. So this thing's got 150 points. Euro's got 150 points move on the top side before it really gets into some sort of area where you're going to find some sellers or a big group of them. And look at this sterling. It's just like a bit of a flimsy sort of triple top here. But, once it goes through 127.50, I mean, don't forget, we've got Brexit all over the place. But there's a situation where it can go up to 130.80. And so plenty of room there for it to move. You want to just keep a close eye on these currencies, because even though they're not sort of fundamentally going up, they can still sort of rocket to the top side. Dollar CAD, well, we missed it. Unfortunately, we didn't get the connection with the data on Friday. I've just left these other support lines in there, broke down through a couple of different support lines. Now, these are all pretty much defunct. Retail sales, Canadian retail sales, sort of a bit weaker than expected on Friday. That led to the move higher. But as you'd expect, that Iran, the conflict, oil, it's all about oil to me anyway. It's back at $57. So that's putting downward pressure on dollar CAD, whilst the data has now sort of flushed itself out. We had good CPI during the week retail sales, and we're back sideways there as well. So pretty much to me at the moment, the major currency pairs are not exactly making it easy. But what you can do is just sit back and just wait. Okay. Now, if you go through your charts and basically go through, what I do is I change the color of my charts on my trend lines that have been broken. I assess them, go back, and then just delete them. Now I've got these new charts with new trend lines, and I've got levels to look at and wait for. So as you can see on these charts here at the moment, we've got levels, but the currencies aren't quite there yet, and they're lacking sort of, well, is it true momentum, this dollar weakness, or not? And that's what we're sort of waiting for. The fact that we do have a few geopolitical events in the pipeline sort of muddles the story somewhat. You can see a lot of this dollar weakness from, the Fed, but how much of it is also coming from these geopolitical events, in particular the US-China trade situation, and obviously the US-Iran conflict there as well. And don't forget, we've got the G20 at the end of this week. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there, especially around the US-China issue, that they are talking about getting together and sort of working things out. Or the Chinese have actually been very proactive in that regard. Now, as far as the major impacting, extremely high impacting numbers this week, we've got the RBNZ Wednesday, and then just really waiting till Friday, CPI, Eurozone CPI flash estimate, and the Canadian GDP numbers. So plenty of room to trade around. Make sure you just take your time and wait for these majors to actually give us the answers to where they're going. At the moment, when you've got the dollar pairs look like they're pretty certain where they're going at the moment, but the other pairs not so at this stage. Euro's probably the one pair that's going up on the hourlies and dailies, but a number of the other charts are sort of almost drifting sideways, trying to work out whether they're going up or down. And to me, that's a bit of a tricky situation, and one I'll be waiting to see what happens before I jump in. All right, guys, that's it for me. Pretty somber Monday, as per usual, but, we've had a major change of the dollar there last week with the Fed, and we are starting to see how this is unraveling. All right, guys, have a good one. Cheerio.